going to switch gears here. Our time's limited.
Please
but
do.
I'm dating myself, but I remember watching so many of your father's films. When I was in college, part of that great Hollywood Renaissance going on, and people outside Hollywood.
Yeah.
Growing up with a filmmaker in the family, is that an advantage? Tell me something that maybe was good for you about that experience too.
Well, it made it all seem very organic. And my father, as you know from his films, were pretty avant-garde and I think quite ahead of their time. Yeah. So I always had this feeling that making films was organic and that it was supposed to seem strange and out of the ordinary.
Well, what about working together?
Oh God, well, we've done 2 films together now in the last 5 years, and it's just great.
I mean, it has to have been very either challenging or fulfilling. I'm not sure how to put it.
Yeah, yeah. Fully challenging.
Yeah. In other words, he's not taking anything off of you because of the family thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It could go the opposite direction, I guess.
Yeah, I've been real lucky, you know, and I think it's just like with Riley in this film, he really allows the people around him to help him out, and he realizes that he does have this family and that there's a lot of benevolence around him. Mm-hmm. And my father now, I feel like I've got a good friend and someone who's always just dead honest with me, and the same with my mom. So it's amazing to come out of, you know, the 80s dysfunctional family decade and kind of think like, boy, maybe things are going to shape up. Maybe it's going to be a nice century after all.
Very quickly, the British Oscar for Chaplin.
The BAFTA.
I assume as meaningful, if not more so?
Oh, sure. It blew my mind. I really didn't expect to win, and then Attenborough called me and told me, and it made him so happy that it made me doubly happy. And now, as long as they send me the little plaque for the award, I'll actually be able to say it's mine because there'll be proof on it.
And among so many fine scenes, may I pick out the one in the music hall where you're the drunk in the box?
Ah, thank you.
Dead on. I mean, there must have been a sense when you watched that.
We were very far into the filming, and I was very frustrated. I felt like I hadn't captured any of him physically yet. And so after we did that scene, and it was for a British audience of the British extras, and when they kind of gave me a bit of a clap, and being as reserved as they are, I said, okay, I'm doing it all right now.
You have to forgive me, I've lost track. Do I have time for maybe one more question,
go ahead,
or am
man.
I going long
Go
here?
ahead.
I was just talking to Ron Underwood, and we were kicking around the idea that this isn't really a fantasy at all. Heart and Souls is not a fantasy. It's actually about people being willing to take on a second chance, giving yourself an option. Go ahead, try it again. What do you think? It's a reality-based film, really. I
think it is, yeah, and I think because it takes the story structure it does, and because it's a little bit broad, it's safe to communicate a very potentially preachy message like that. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think that this film is kind of about America, too, and about America in the 50s, and what's happened since then, and how we have this other chance going into the 21st century. So I hope and believe that this film will be around for a while, and that people will look back on it as being as important as it is entertaining.
And no more will the Jimi Hendrix national anthem be the benchmark. We've got a new one now for the 90s.
Thank you.
Robert Downey Jr., it's been a real pleasure.